Hello and welcome to Identities with Nyari Mashayamombe, your empowerment podcast where we talk about everything important, social, economic, and current affairs. And you know that we've been running with the issue of the Constitution Amendment Bill number 3, CAB 3 of 2026. And over the past few weeks, Identities Media has intentionally been creating and holding conversations around Constitution Amendment Bill number 3 of 2026, commonly referred to as CAB 3, because we recognize that constitutional conversations are not just legal or political discussions. They're conversations about democracy, governance, citizen participation, representation, national identity, and ultimately the future of Zimbabwe. As a storytelling and dialogue platform, we've engaged lawyers, governance experts, civic actors, women's rights advocates, ordinary citizens who shared varying perspectives, concerns, and reflections around the proposed amendment bill. But we also strongly believe that for Zimbabweans to fully understand such an important national process, it is equally important to hear directly from the ruling party and from those who support the proposed amendments. Today, we're privileged to be joined by Comrade Cde Chinamasa, the Treasurer General of Zanupf, senior lawyer, a long-serving political leader who joins to help unpack the thinking, rationale, and national vision behind CAB 3 from the perspective of the ruling party. Comrade Chinamasa, welcome to the show.
No, thank you very much for your invitation to this interview.
Lovely. Folks have questions on the streets ever since CAB 3 was introduced in February this year. And people want to understand, also even as a platform, we took the liberty to come and understand, to say, what is the thinking of the ruling party when this CAB was introduced? And people on the streets have questions, a kind of confusion, aggravations going on, and they are saying, why does Zanupf believe CAB is necessary now?
Zanupf is a democratic party. The decisions that we take from the top would have originated from our lower structures. So it happened that in 2024, when we were proceeding to our annual People's Conference in Bulawayo, the lower structures put in a resolution that there should be an extension of the president's term for 2 years. The motivation behind that resolution was that the president has done tremendously good work in reviving the economy of this country, in establishing stability, peace, stability, and that it was necessary that what he has started should be completed. In other words, there was need for continuity, so that what was started and which is good must be completed. And basically, this is to achieve Zimbabwe's economy to be an upper middle income society by 2030. So the motivation essentially was that President Mnangagwa has done tremendous good work. He must continue and finish what he started. That is the motivation.
Then there are questions, Comrade Chinamasa, that then say that it then looks like the party's progress, because President Mnangagwa is an outcome of the party, the Zanupf.
Yes, sure.
And a structure. And so it sounds to me like then we are centering the progress of the nation around an individual.
Not really.
Around an individual,
Not really.
Because when allow me to finish this question. When listening to you carefully, I get this. You have said that President Mnangagwa has started project that he wants to see to 2030.
No, not he. The people.
The people.
Want
So
him
then
to continue and finish, not him.
So now, still my question stands to say, if we have a feeling that the current leadership has to have an extension, perhaps not the person per se, but the current leadership, it comes off, people have questions like, we voted Zanupf, into the presidential.
Yes,
So therefore, it shouldn't be about, if it's Zanu-PF, it shouldn't be about the person who's leading, but the structure. So
Yes,
if it's
the
about the
structure
structure, if it's
is
about the
there.
structure,
The
then
structure is
then
there.
it shouldn't center around one president.
No,
but
no,
then
no. The
allow me
structure
to
is
finish,
there.
sir. Allow me
The
to finish.
structure is there.
Yes, but let me
And
finish
we
my
are
question.
continuing with that structure.
So let me
the
finish.
way he's not performing alone. He's
So
performing
if he's
with a
not
structure.
performing alone,
And we are
then the
basically
structure is
saying
supposed to
we
then
need
finish
that
the work.
structure to continue undisturbed. That's what we are saying.
So may I just, so that you answer clearly, right? So we are saying there's a structure in ZANU-PF, and there's a leadership that's there. And ZANU-PF is known to be a very strong, structured party, right? So in that strength in a structure, we then, why would we need to extend around a person if the structure is continuing?
Please understand this. The extension is not just for one person. You understand? And a structure is not just the leader. A structure is the whole leadership of ZANU-PF.
Yeah.
We decide.
Of which ZANU-PF is there till 2030.
The people decide that this structure is performing. Let's not disturb it. You
But
understand?
if it is a structure if it's not individuals, ZANU-PF
No,
is there,
you're
it
worrying
continues.
about nothing. Politics is about other people. And in this case, ZANU-PF decided that the structure of ZANU-PF, led by Comrade Idi Mnangagwa, will continue to 2030 undisturbed because of the successes that we've been able to achieve.
Of which we believe that these successes should be carried forward by the party.
Listen, any change of leadership can change direction. Do you understand?
But this is ZANU-PF.
No,
And it should have continuity as a
No,
going
the
concern.
The emphasis that any leader puts can be different depending on the leader. Do you understand?
Right.
Now, as ZANU-PF, we decide that this is structure with President Idi Mnangagwa at the top. ZANU-PF, we must continue until 2030 so that the foundation that is begun to lay out must be consolidated and survive.
So, say, I want to ride on the issue of precedence. Yes, we understand that there is this reflection that if there is a need to extend by 2 years, because the next elections are 2028, right, would have been 2028. Now, there is the need to extend so that things are not. Then in 2030, a new leader, whether it's ZANU-PF or another party comes, precedent has been set. Someone then comes and then says, because we allow the constitution to be extended. Now I also want, because I haven't finished my projects, I want an extension of 10, 15 years. What does that do to the constitution?
Let me tell you this, that a constitution is a living document. What it means is that any population at any time can decide at any time what suits them, given the living experiences, what they go through. What we are going through will not be the same as what people in 2030 will go through or what people in 2040 will go through. So each generation, each stage has its own demands and its own expectations.
Right.
And the way we look at things now may not be the way people look at things in 2030. So what I'm saying is that the Constitution allows an amendment, provided the procedures for amending it are respected. So look at the Constitution as a living document. It's not cast in stone. Do you understand? It's not cast in stone. It actually provides, so we say, here I am, I'm the Constitution. If you want to amend me, do A, B, C, D. Doesn't it?
Right.
So if any people in 2030 or 2040 should decide that what we are doing now needs to be reversed, they will be free to do so.
Right.
But for now, we are saying, because of the foundation that His Excellency's leadership of the country and of ZANU-PF has laid out, that foundation must be completed. Right. And in this case, you must appreciate the economic thrust that His Excellency has been propounding.
Right.
It's an economic thrust. You must know that as a country, Africa as a whole, we are streets behind other countries. We are streets behind other countries. And so we need to lay a proper foundation.
Right.
We are not where America is. We are not where China is. We are not where India is.
Right.
And so time is very important. The decisions we take as a country are very critical to advance the economic interests of the people of Zimbabwe. But what people in 2030 will do is none of our business. We'll see.
Thank you so much. And so this I would take it speculation, what people have been also saying to counter that narrative on the streets. So they're saying, if I understand the merit that you're saying that every generation has got the right, because the Constitution provides for remedies to say, how do you go about it? I've got a question from someone online who said that 2013 Constitution was subjected to the people opinion through a referendum.
Sure.
The same applies to the 2000 draft constitution. In those two cases, there was no law that was compelling the executive to go for the referendum. But this CAB 3, the executive, which is composed of ZANU-PF members, is fighting tooth and nail to avoid the referendum. And yet the constitution requires for those steps to be taken to say, when you're changing specific parts of the constitution, you must go to the referendum.
You know, I'm happy that my interviewer is a lawyer.
Yes.
The constitution which went to the referendum in 2013 is this document here. Okay. And this document here has provisions which says, if Parliament are going to change the chapter on human rights, you cannot change it without going to a referendum.
Right.
If you change the chapter on land, irreversibility of land, you must go to an election if you want to reverse the land issue to a referendum.
Yeah.
If you want to change the term limit provision, you must go to a referendum.
Right.
But these others, you feel free to change. That's what this constitution says.
And
why are you disputing that the parliament has no right to change a constitution in the manner that is prescribed here? The section on chapter on human rights, any change to that requires a referendum. The chapter on land requires that.
Please come again.
This president must not serve more than 2 terms. We are not saying this president is going to serve a 3rd term. That's not what we are saying. You cannot serve more than 2 terms. And that's what section 91(2) says. Section 91(2), please read it, says,
Let's read it.
A term to be a term must be 3 years and more.
Yes.
The president is going to be extended only for 2 years. It's not 3 years or more. Let me read it for you. A person is disqualified, that is section 91, subsection 2. A person is disqualified for election as president or appointment as vice president if he or she has already held office as president under this constitution for 2 terms. And for the purpose of this subsection, 3 or more years is deemed a full term.
So thank you very much for your explanation of the other section, section 95. The issue I'm talking about is on section 328, subsection 7,
yes,
which reads, notwithstanding any other provision of this section, an amendment to a term limit provision, the effect of which is to extend the length of time that a person may hold or occupy any public office, does not apply in relation to any person who held or occupied that office or an equivalent office at any time before the amendment. So our understanding on this is that, yes, and the understanding interpretation is the sitting people cannot change extensions or extend their time, as in the current, where there's a proposal to extend from 5 years to 7 years, should not benefit those that are sitting.
No, I am saying, and this is my response. A term limit provision basically says the president must only serve 2 terms. You understand? And section 91.
But that's 95, right? That you're now back to. I'm talking
it's
about three.
It's 95 2B. 5 years.
328.
Seven. First 95 2B says the term of office the president can serve is 5 years. Do you understand?
Yes.
Okay? And it must be coterminous with that of parliament.
Right.
Okay? 91 subsection 2 says, and it says, if that president serves a term of 3 years, it's considered as 5 years. Do you get me?
Yes.
It's considered as 5 years. So a term limit provision is basically saying you cannot serve 3 terms.
That's
If
under
we were
section
saying-
95. But I've just read under
No.
section 328, subsection 7.
Yeah.
That is now talking in the nuances that I'm talking about to say. Now we departed, you explained that section. Right? We are at 328.
But we are not amending a term limit provision. Term limit means you cannot serve more than 2 terms. 2 years
Yes,
is not a
according
term.
to 95. But
No.
we are at 328, which is talking about the person holding an office, if that extension is given, is not to benefit from that.
I don't agree with
Oh,
you.
okay, thank you very much. Under this question, allow me to also just follow up. Some sentiments on the streets are that you touched on it a little bit when you said that every generation has got the right to amend or
As long as they follow the provisions.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yes, you touched on that. Then there are people who feel like a constitution is supposed to be different from a law, in that a constitution must be entrenched. The entrenchment of a constitution it must be difficult to change, so that it's not, we feel like this, 2030 someone says we feel like this, every leader comes and leads a certain change. There is a feeling that the entrenchment of the constitution, our constitution, is being tempered.
No. First, like I explained, a constitution is a living document. It must answer to the demands and needs of a people at any given time. And it can be changed for as long as the procedures laid out here are followed. That is okay.
Of which
Now,
certain
you
people
must
think
know
that procedure is not
Zimbabwe
being followed.
is a young country. Zimbabwe is a young country. There is no way you can fix when we are still evolving as a young country, to a point where even if we come up with a problem, we cannot change it quickly. We cannot have that kind
A
of
constitution.
Yes, we can, and the procedures are there. What's your problem?
And within the procedures, I think
The
I did
procedures are
register
there.
that there are people who feel like there was supposed to be referendum, and
No.
there's not. The bill is not providing
the
for that.
provisions which are for referendum are clearly set out. If you want to change this, referendum. This you can change.
The extension of
Yes,
office
you
is
can,
part is such.
You can add 10 more senators if you want, depending with the
No,
circumstances.
I don't
Yes.
think as many
You
people have
understand?
issues with the issues.
Yes.
It's
You
really about
can-
the issues of
you-
term
you
extension.
can remove the gender commission, because the rights of any woman are subsumed in the Zimbabwe Human Rights Commission.
Right.
Yes.
So
You can repeal the National Peace and Reconciliation Commission, because our country has been so stable, we don't need the cost of running that. You can do that.
right.
We can have a parliamentary election of a president and not an executive, like we started, like which other countries have. South Africa is a parliamentary, Botswana is a parliamentary, Angola is a parliamentary, even the United States, they don't have a direct election of the president. What is critical is the one man, one vote. We vote an election to choose our representatives. And once we choose correctly our representatives, we give them the task, and you say, this is your document.
But where is
you
the
are guided.
appetite to remove the masses one man one vote coming from?
We've not removed the one man, one vote.
No.
No.
To the current
In fact, we have made it
no.
cheaper for the
That
states.
change.
Yes.
Why is it there?
But why didn't you ask, why was it? You remember, we didn't have that executive president when we started.
What
Do you know that? We didn't have an executive president from 1980.
Yes.
Yes.
And we have changed the constitution to suit ourselves.
Again, we are changing to suit the demands and needs of the people.
Welcome to Identities with Nyari Mashayamombe, your empowerment podcast where we talk about social, economic, and everyday issues that affect us. At Identities Media, we tell human stories that respect the storyteller, honor the viewer, and help build a compassionate and informed society. Our work celebrates unsung heroes and community change makers rising in the spirit of Ubuntu. As a producer and host, Nyari Mashayamombe brings her experience as a development practitioner, marketer, lawyer, storyteller, and filmmaker to ensure that every conversation is grounded, human, and deeply intentional. If you are an individual donor, a foundation, an NGO, or an institution that believes in uplifting marginalized voices, we invite you to financially support this storytelling journey. Your contribution helps us document human stories that shape policy, inspire action, and strengthen communities. We also welcome corporates, NGOs, and institutions to partner with us by sponsoring episodes or seasons, commissioning stories of change, or collaborating on documentaries, docuseries, films, and other impactful storytelling projects. You may also advertise on our platform. To donate, visit www.identitiesmedia.com. To partner or sponsor, contact us through the email and number on the screen. Identities with Nyari Mashayamombe, your empowerment podcast.
People want development. They don't eat quarrels. This is our country. We are the majority, as long as everybody has the right to vote. We voted for a constitution and we gave the the parliamentarians right to change it as long as they follow the provisions of the constitution.
And which citizens feel like the procedure is not being followed, especially on the referendum part.
But who are they? Because have you been following the public hearings?
Yes, we have.
No, but
we
they
have
didn't say that.
Okay.
These are individual opinions of people, journalists who
but
are
individual
just
opinions are citizens, aren't they?
No.
Even if it's one person, are they not citizens?
But if it's one person against 5 million, do we consider the opinion of one
So
person?
may I just counter and say, did you see the Human Rights Commission's report?
I didn't read it. First, it was not a Human Rights Commission report. It was an individual's report. Please,
okay. So
let's get it right.
So there's a section.
When you want it to be constitutional throughout. A one person cannot be a commission. Please.
And it was the chairperson of the Human Rights Commission.
Chairperson alone, na vice, no one constitute.
They can represent.
No.
Yes.
No, please.
No, okay. May I just give you? Let me follow up with
a commission with 10 or so people cannot be represented by 2 people.
So, but please. Then allow me to say this, Comrade Chinamasa, that this has been a genuine report. That
no, I didn't even read it.
Okay, so let me just ask the question. So allow me to then paint the picture exactly. So there is a feeling that in certain sections of the parts of the country, I mean, these are reports. I'm also in media. There's a lot of feedback that's been coming to say within the hearings, if someone was opposed to the CAP 3. To the Constitution Amendment 3, they would not get an opportunity to speak, they were not heard, they will be booed and they will be bullied. So that's a significant section of the citizenry whose opinions were not heard. No. So that then also mean that maybe there is opposition of the CAP that's being ignored.
Let's leave it to Parliament, because the parliamentarians are going to sift through the public
parliamentarians are beneficiaries of some of the things that are being proposed. Okay. So there can be a feeling of biasness there.
No.
Is that not correct, Comrade Chinamasa?
I believe that they'll be acting in the national interest. Ndo wanotaka votera
Their
At
teams.
any time, when we put this constitution, we were all, from your argument, we were all compromised.
How?
Because it was affecting us.
How? What do you mean
It
compromise?
was-
People went and there was
We
no...
negotiated this.
Yes.
When you negotiate, it's affecting us.
There was a negotiation and there were referendums
Yes.
and everything. But the process is happening right now is not as inclusive. That's what people are saying.
No, you are still going back to your earlier question.
Us as
The people
identities
went
became
to
here
war for one man, one vote.
for the to choose
their
council,
representatives.
to choose council,
There
to
was-
choose
the
parliament,
manner-
to choose the
The
president.
manner of choosing the president was never an issue. Show me where it was an issue. Are we
Why
going to
did
have-
we come up
are
with three
listen,
structures where we've got council,
Listen,
parliament, and
from
the
1980
president, as well as Senate?
We had President Banana elected by parliament. Agree?
Right.
Yes. That
Right.
was us. Then we changed it.
Yes.
Now we are changing it. What is your
Who's
problem?
changing?
The people.
Citizens went to
Yes,
constitution and they said we want to vote for the president, and suddenly it's being taken. Why?
You know, the
Where is the appetite
citizens-
coming from?
The citizens approved this constitution 2013.
Yes.
And in the constitution, there are provisions which says you can amend me.
Amendment,
Parliamentarians can
and
amend
this
me.
one through the referendum, and this bill does not talk about the referendum.
No, please. Only those provisions which require referendum will go to.
The next question is that we have spoken about the universal suffrage, but said there is a question about the participation of women. So, for example, the removal of the voting for the president, right? If people no longer vote for the president, it means we're entrusting our members of parliament to vote for us. You mentioned the South Africa system. The South Africa system, which has a zebra system, where they say from the political parties, when they field their candidates in parliament for representation, it's a man, woman, woman. Zimbabwe does not have that weight. Zimbabwe does not have that. So currently in Zimbabwe, we have a representation of 35%, which is enabled by the quota system. And we know that sometimes when we have the post, when something has happened, we have to go to the by-elections again. And usually women lose. But the point is women are poorly represented right now in parliament. So when we relinquish the right to decision-making of who our president is to parliament, who are already fewer women, we are actually removing the 52% of the citizens from making decisions about the president they want. So in other words, women feel like we are going back to
if
time
there's-
when people couldn't vote, and women are now being treated as minors.
If there is anything that women should be proud of and support the extension, it is at this hour. We have never seen such an unprecedented promotion of women
How?
under the president.
No,
Under
no,
President
no,
Zuma.
constitutionally, we are talking
No,
constitution.
nothing to do with the
No,
constitution.
and we
Nothing
are
to do with the
we are here to
constitution.
discuss
No, nothing to-
Constitution Amendment number 3. Let's
If you want,
because if
you are comparing it to the zebra system of South Africa. They have what is called a proportional representation.
yes, over
I'm
and
sure-
above the zebra.
I'm sure you know that.
Over and above the
Yes,
zebra.
they've a proportional. They don't have constituency. I'm sure you know.
What I'm saying is South Africa has a zebra system.
No,
By that, what
because
it
it's only
mitigates is the
possible-
representation.
It's only possible when you have got a proportional representation, not direct as constituency basis.
So whatever,
How do you do it
however that
in a
is,
constituency?
we are saying in South Africa they run the zebra system for a man, for a woman. What that gives us, say, we don't want to belabor the specifics of that. But what we are saying is, then you come to parliament, you find a good representation of men and women. That's why that then we would not have an issue to say, I would feel like as a women's rights advocate, I would not be
So
bothered
what-
if I had enough women representing my interests in parliament. But right now Zimbabwe does not have such a
You
structure.
know, what you should be saying is that you should come up with a proposal to say part of the seats should be direct, part of the seats should be proportional. That is what can help women to increase the participation of women in parliament. You understand?
If you are
It
answering
has
me,
nothing to do with the president. Nothing to do with the president.
no, we have
Your
departed
number,
from. No,
your
we have
number in parliament.
We have departed from the president.
No.
Now we are on the other section.
Yes, but
yes.
it's not before CAB right now.
What do you mean it's not before
Yeah,
that?
there is no
It's one of the
amendment.
sections that's being proposed.
What is being proposed?
What we're saying is if women don't vote for the president, it means they are not participating in governance and democracy.
They are participating in electing the constituents, the representatives.
But
who go
they
to
are
parliament.
not directly participating in the appointment of the president. So you touched a little bit, say, about the Gender Commission. And some are thinking that the Gender Commission has been one of the most performing. If we look at the issues of women, we still have high levels of abuse of women. 3 in 10 women are abused before they reach the age of 18. And the Gender Commission has been leading in investigations and pushing, especially high-level cases, and it's one of the most performing. And others have gone even to say, "Ndiutete vemusha." The Gender Commission, removing the Gender Commission is like removing anatete vemusha. Why is there an appetite to remove it?
No. The way I interpret it was that to reduce the cost of government. Do you understand?
But why
to reduce
on
the
that
cost of government? The rights of women are assumed under the totality of human rights. Do you understand?
But they are
We have always had the Human Rights Commission. And there is no reason why the Human Rights Commission cannot drive the rights of women. No reason.
So zvakafanana nekuti
serves
sekuru anomonoti it's the Gender Commission.
No.
It's the synonym of bringing it as atete vemusha. Pane nyaya dzatisingakwanisi kunzwa kwamuri mimi kana kuti sekuru hamuna capacity.
Hapana chinotadzisa Human Rights Commission to set up a gender women corner.
There
You understand?
But why do we reduce it into a corner
No.
when it's a huge issue in this country?
No, it will remain
Do you
still huge,
agree
but
that-
under one.
But why
body.
having it swallowed by another
Personally,
commission?
I don't think it defeats the cause of women. What is important is that the Human Rights Commission will assume all the tasks that were being performed by the Gender Commission and pursue them as vigorously. You don't judge them before they perform.
But we ought
And
to
don't
defend sometimes.
And don't forget that this was always the case for the past, from 2018 until 2013.
And we
All
only
the
saw
rights
some
were-
really good progress on high profile
What
and any other.
progress?
We
What
saw
progress
a
did you see?
lot of issues being handled from that time to now. Like I'm saying, it's
What-
one
what-
of the
what-
highest
what-
performing
what-
high profile cases being
which
investigated.
ones?
Reports. I
They
don't
were
want.
always
I don't
investigated.
want to mention.
They were
names.
always investigated.
No, they were not. They were not in the. So I think it's important for men to listen to women because in this matter, say you are a man.
To be honest, on that one, I believe it was just a question of course. And that
But
the
why,
work-
if we have 12, I think we've got 12 commissions, why target gender? I also wanted to say, to your own appreciation, the current NDS2, for the first time now has a pillar on gender because the government has realized there is a need to
Yes.
focus on gender. So why attack the Gender Commission? Why take it away? When we in the NDS have acknowledged the very need to have this as a standalone pillar of the, I think we've got 7 pillars.
For me, if I were the head of the Human Rights Commission, I would deal with all matters as they deserve.
But
If
but
I have
it's
to run
never.
if I have to run with the gender issues, I will run with the gender issues
I
as
think-
strongly as I can.
Why are we subjugating gender to other commissions? Because it's a deserving. Even if you look at the gross domestic product, the welfare of women and girls really contributes to the advancement or undermining of the country as a whole. So the Gender Commission's mandate is to actually make sure that the nation is
Why
going
do
forward.
you feel that the Human Rights Commission cannot
the
pursue
moment
that
something
agenda?
the moment something is treated as a pillar, why do we have the Human Rights Commission? It's because it's important, right?
Yeah.
Gender Commission is equally
And I
important.
also believe that they can be able to give full cover to all the
But
human
it's
rights.
actually a sub-theme.
That is your opinion.
But it's a fact.
Yeah, that's your
The very fact that we need
That's your
the
opinion.
Human Rights Commission, and now we want to bring Gender Commission under the Human Rights Commission, it's actually undermining the issue of gender. When we created the new constitution, there was a feeling that majority of the chiefs actually belong to the ruling party. And at the end of the day, before 2013, politically it was now difficult to separate between the chief, the supposedly neutral person who is supposed to be able to serve everyone.
Who is neutral? Nyarai? Who is
Nyaradzo.
life? Nyaradzo. It's Nyaradzo.
At the end
Who
of the
is-
day,
who is neutral? First,
as a lawyer, do you feel like the judiciary system should be political?
no.
So why should
Are
we
you
have
saying, Are you saying judges don't vote?
No.
Is that what you're saying?
But according to
They
the constitution,
vote,
do
they-
the
they
judges
vote-
have a political
they've got
party?
a political affiliation. They go
Are
to
we
vote.
allowing judges to belong to a political party?
No.
So
but-
why are we not
but they
extending the
vote.
same for the chiefs?
But the chiefs are not judges.
No, but
You
they
know,
serve.
chiefs-
The chiefs are the judges in the community.
Wanogwaminda is a political function. Do you understand?
So if
Wanogwaminda.
so
Do you
must
understand?
people?
Wanotonga nyaya dzemuvillage.
And I think you're
Not
actually
in
making
a-
my point.
No.
You are. Because
Zvakasiyana.
if let me say a chief
Zvakasiyana.
belongs to the opposition and I belong to the ruling party, and this
You
chief
are
knows no.
You are
this-
free to do so.
But if the chief belongs to the opposition and I'm in the ruling party, do you think that the chief is going to help me? If I belong
not?
to the ruling party,
Yes, you know, I help people even who are in the opposition.
but why
They
are
come
we?
to me.
But why?
They
why-
come to me.
But why
Even
are we
those-
allowing
and
such a
if I'm in
compromise?
an authority, if I'm in a position of authority to dispense favors or any benefits, I must look to the totality of the people.
Do you
without
believe in the
regard
doctrine
to
of
their
neutrality,
political-
say?
Without, no, I don't believe that.
You believe in partisan?
I know. I believe that some people are good, some people are bad.
But it's not about good or bad. It's
Yes.
about neutrality.
No,
the
no.
ability to help anyone. So you are an advanced person if you are
know,
able to help anyone.
If I find anyone involved in an accident, I don't come and say, are you an MDC? Are you in opposition? I help.
But these are different things.
No.
These are different things of premeditation. Oh, someone needs a field. Oh, who do they belong to? If they don't belong to the opposition and I'm an opposition leader, I'm not going to give them and that was the problem before 2013. And that's the problem that we're trying to mitigate.
You know the problem before 2018.
2013.
The problem started with the opposition MTC. We are funded externally. Do you understand?
And
that was the problem.
what,
And
please
put
expand.
us under sanctions. You know that.
No, but we
And
want to
they-
talk about
you
we want to
understand?
talk about what was
And
the
they
problem
felt-
of MDC around
They
neutrality.
felt that we were getting support ZANU-PF because the chiefs and headmen and Sabuku were supportive of ZANU-PF. Do you understand?
Okay.
But we've been winning elections from 2013.
So if
Have
we
we
are
not
winning
been-
elections, why is the appetite to then
No.
make to say they can be political?
They are also, they've got their own human rights. And
It's their
human
right
rights-
to go and vote, but
No,
not
no,
to
no.
amplify their political
No,
party
no.
in the village,
You
right?
you must know.
But why
Nyaradzo,
are we not having the
you
judiciary
must-
having the same
No,
privilege?
you must know, Nyaradzo, from time immemorial, the first fighters against colonialism,
Yes.
we are not individuals. We are chiefs and headmen. Vane misoro iri kulanda. Misoro yemachiefs.
Yes.
Do you understand?
Yes.
Yes.
I do.
So that was
but
a
to
political.
serve the people.
That was a
to
political
serve the
line.
people. Why must they belong to a political party?
I
Because
know.
we know it undermines the
No,
neutrality.
It doesn't.
It does. But why are we?
Anyway,
why
my
are we not
opinion
having
is-
it in
my
the
opinion is
judiciary?
that
No.
It doesn't.
Do you feel that when all is said and done, CAP 3 is going to go down the political and the national land as something ZANU-PF, the Liberation Struggle Party, is going to be proud of?
Yes, because like I said, we fought for one man, one vote. We have
Which
got
is
that
being
right.
threatened right now.
No, it's not threatened. One man, one vote means we vote to select our representatives to go into parliament. That's what one man, one vote says. You understand? We did not discuss how we are going to elect each other, who is going to be the chairman, who is going to, and what manner. That is not part of the liberation struggle.
I hope you have enjoyed our conversation with my learned colleague, Comrade Patrick Chinamasa, who has graciously spoken to us about the position of the party as far as CAB 3 is concerned. Say, I really want to thank you for giving us your time and for engaging with the citizens with our opinions. We do know that this is causing a national dialogue. It also helps us to understand where you're coming from, and we hope that you're also taking the time to also reflect on what other people feel. And we do know that you are enjoying the conversation. Until next time, this is Advocate Nyari Mashayamombe. Have a good one.
Welcome to Identities with Nyari Mashayamombe, your empowerment podcast where we talk about social, economic, and everyday issues that affect us. At Identities Media, we tell human stories that respect the storyteller, honor the viewer, and help build a compassionate and informed society. Our work celebrates unsung heroes and community change makers rising in the spirit of Ubuntu. As a producer and host, Nyari Mashayamombe brings her experience as a development practitioner, marketer, lawyer, storyteller, and filmmaker to ensure that every conversation is grounded, human, and deeply intentional. If you are an individual donor, a foundation, an NGO, or an institution that believes in uplifting marginalized voices, we invite you to financially support this storytelling journey. Your contribution helps us document human stories that shape policy, inspire action, and strengthen communities. We also welcome corporates, NGOs, and institutions to partner with us by sponsoring episodes or seasons, commissioning stories of change, or collaborating on documentaries, docuseries, films, and other impactful storytelling projects. You may also advertise on our platform. To donate, visit www.identitiesmedia.com. To partner or sponsor, contact us through the email and number on the screen. Identities with Nyari Mashayamombe, your empowerment podcast.